Hello and welcome to day 5 of Severe Weather Awareness Week. It's February 6th here in Tallahassee, and it's been a fantastic day.
Beautiful, great sunshine outside. It was actually kind of warm after we went to lunch break there. I had my coat on. I was like, I got to take this off. Get a little bit warm there.
Yeah. I'm meteorologist Jonathan Bellis.
I'm student meteorologist Tom Mazzetti. We're talking about the earliest last freeze record was February 17th, 1977. Tell them what that means, John.
That means that after that point, it never froze until the fall of that year in 1997. So it was an early last freeze, warm spring that year.
Yeah, so that means it's totally possible that, the freeze we had last night, maybe a freeze we might get tonight, could be the last freeze of the season, and we might not see those freezing temperatures again.
Possible.
So, looking forward to summer maybe.
Now, there's another anniversary coming up in about a week that we celebrate here in Tallahassee. Well, maybe not celebrate, but something we observe here in Tallahassee. Back in 1899, on February 13th, they had a minimum temperature of -2 degrees. That's Fahrenheit.
-2 for a record low. That is crazy. I cannot even imagine how cold that is because I grew up in Florida. So
Yeah. Fast forwarding a couple of months into June, they actually had a temperature of 105 degrees here in Tallahassee, June 15th in 2011.
That's actual temperature, 105. Not a feels like temperature, it's actual temperature on a thermometer.
And it probably felt about 10 degrees warmer than that.
Yes, because of the humidity, because it's summertime. But
yeah, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at more seasonal temperatures here with Shane.
It's true, we weren't topping the hundreds or breaking down into the sub-zero temperatures here in North Florida today. It was crystal clear outside today. Here's our satellite and radar, and no, it's not broken. There is actually nothing in the sky above us right now. Crystal clear and beautiful temperatures throughout. It's averaging out about 60 degrees around the Big Bend. It's 61 here in Tallahassee, 57 degrees out in Quincy, 59 in Bainbridge. They're already starting to cool off a little bit. But let's talk about what we're going to be seeing over the next few days. Here's a few headlines to break down the show for you. We've got a beautiful sunny weekend in store for everyone, with above average temperatures once we get into the afternoon, but it might be chillier than you expect tomorrow morning. To find out how cold it will get, stay tuned for more information. It's going to get down to 33 degrees tonight, however. That's jacket weather, if I may say so myself. What do you guys think at the desk?
Tonight. But tomorrow we're going to get back up into the 60s. It's going to be fantastic for a day for baseball.
Yeah, not a game tomorrow, but tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., a little bit of fun for kids, parents, even students.
Yeah, tomorrow at 11 a.m., all of the players will be out at the baseball stadium here at Florida State, kind of kicking off the season going into the spring.
Yeah, maybe shake some hands to have some little conversations with the baseball players, get to know them, because, we see them on TV all the time. We don't always get to meet exactly who the players are,
Yeah, absolutely no weather troubles tomorrow. It's going to be kind of like today, a little bit warmer though, so probably even a little bit better too.
Yeah, and the temperatures are going to keep getting warmer throughout that weekend, and it's just going to be great to go outside, have fun, enjoy those cool temperatures before it gets too hot outside.
Yeah, and it's going to go right into the end of the weekend, Sunday looking fantastic as well.
Yeah, we might see a little bit of moisture coming through, but John, you can tell us a little bit more about that. Taking a look at local, right?
Yeah, it's been a warm day. Cool tonight, though. We're looking at 33 degrees during the overnight hours tonight. Starry skies, but right now we're looking at 59 degrees today. Look at this dew point. This is a bone-dry dew point here, 21 degrees this afternoon. Look at this humidity as well. That's bone-dry as well, and that's because of the north-northeast winds here, bringing all of that cool air, that dry air right out of the north, straight out of Georgia. 59 degrees here in Tallahassee, as I mentioned, 61 in St. Mark's, 58 in Monticello, the cool spot now in Valdosta at 53 degrees. But the real story of today was that dry air, even down towards the coast. Dew points down in the 20s. That is chapstick weather down there. Easy to work with the hair, though, out there. The troublesome spot there at Carabel, 41 degrees for that dew point. Not a cloud in the sky, maybe some high-level cirrus crossing through the area, though. Low-level clouds this morning skirted our area, and that's about all we're going to see over the next 24 to 48 hours. Plenty of sunshine to head out to Sun and Fun there at the baseball stadium. But what will keep you wondering here, when it's going to get a little bit more moist, is these winds out of the north. This is going to be persistent over the next roughly 12 to 24 hours before these winds start to swivel here out of the southeast. As we head to the overnight hours, watch that clock here starting at 6 o'clock tonight or 8 o'clock tonight. These winds are going to bring that cool air during the overnight hours, bringing us into the 30s. Some spots, especially into our Georgia counties here, could see temperatures flirting with freezing. no real threat for a damaging freeze across our entire Big Bend region. In fact, most of our coastal counties will actually see temperatures still into the upper 30s, maybe even around 40 in some spots. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to tack on a couple of degrees on what we saw today, and these winds are going to come out of the southeast by late tomorrow afternoon, but high pressure is going to be in control. Look at this. High pressure, actually, you can see the spin here. High pressure right on top of us, so not even a cloud in the sky tomorrow, I don't think. But as we head into tomorrow night, those cooler temperatures start to return. Still in the 30s for tomorrow night, and then 40s down towards the coast. As we head into Sunday, look at those temperatures, those reds actually in the 70s for some of us tomorrow. But tonight we have to get through these cooler temperatures, 33 degrees with starry skies, jacket weather. One more night of that, and then we'll bump up those temperatures. Again, calm conditions could have a couple of spots dipping below freezing for a couple of hours. Frost will be prevalent, although I think for most places it's going to be a little bit too dry for that frost. But if you're getting a little bit closer to the coast, let's say Crawfordville, maybe even Perry, seeing some of that frost tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're bumping up to 66 degrees. A couple spots could be getting a little bit closer to 70 degrees tomorrow afternoon. South-southeast winds, those winds are starting to turn around. We're going to come out of the south by tomorrow afternoon. And look at this, the next 7 days, or the next 5 days, we're looking like this. Next trouble spot is coming in for Monday afternoon. Cooler conditions returning by Tuesday, but it's going to be short-lived. Now, Tom, we're going to talk about the rest of the southeast. Lots going on there.
Yes, we are. Personally, I can't 71st time for the year, but look at this. Beautiful day over Tallahassee. Not a cloud in the sky, unless you're looking off far into the distance. Not a drop of rain for us either. See a little bit of more high clouds up over South Carolina, North Carolina for you, coming there off of the Appalachian Mountains. Very nice day up there. It's a little cloudy. And we're going to see these 24-hour temperature changes. That's the temperature yesterday at this time to the temperature right now. So today we're about 5 degrees cooler than we were yesterday. And we can see a little bit to the northwest there. They're warming up because that cold front has already passed and kind of gotten out of the mix for them. So they're seeing those temperatures warm back up for them. So current conditions, 59 in Tallahassee, 71 in Miami, 69 Key West, a lot warmer down there. Kind of want to go to the beach. I'm feeling that today. It's just 40 in Wilmington right now, so it's still pretty cool there for the late afternoon. These dew points, 21 degrees, really dry. Rarely we see these temperatures get to this low right after our cold fronts there. So, and we can see Miami, they're still holding on to their moisture and a little bit more moisture into the southern parts of Texas as well. But because of that dryness there, we have a red flag warning. That means watch out for some fires, and a red flag watch. So that means there's a little bit less potential for fires, but the availability for a fire to happen there. So the neighboring counties to the west of Leon County, there's a potential for some freezing tonight because that cold front is still kind of weaning out of that area, even though it's already past us, and we're not really expecting too hard of a freeze. But they're expecting a little bit of a freeze there for tonight. Water vapor, this is different than on the surface, what we looked at a minute ago. That's related to the humidity, but this, the orange is up here, nice and dry to the south and moist to the north. This is in the upper levels, and that means it's a good indicator of what is to be coming in the next few days with those moistures above us. So we're going to see that come in the next few days. Taking a look, we're going to see this high pressure kind of stick around for a little bit as this cold lingers for the next day or so here. And we're going to see that sunshine and warmer temperatures come at us tomorrow into Sunday. We might peak into 70 degrees. And a little bit of moisture, not too much, only a 30% chance of rain approximate for Monday. And tonight, 32 degrees. For you, barely hitting freezing there for us tonight. 35 Atlanta, 29 in Wilmington. They're getting a good freeze. And tomorrow, we're going to be looking at 66 in Tallahassee, 70 in Orlando. Nice, beautiful, sunny day. But I am going to take us back here into the desk, and we are going to talk about some movies.
Yeah, that forecast you showed there, almost good enough to watch movies out on the lawn there.
Yeah, I wish we did have a drive-in movie in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of one. Have you, John?
There used to be one when I first got here to Florida State. I don't know if that's still there.
Right.
So for tonight, we're going to have to head to the SLC to watch a fantastic movie. Now, you're going to tell us a little about that.
Yeah. Fury. It's about the end of World War II. These guys, captain there, with Brad Pitt, they were with an out-of-date tank, and it's about a story about how they struggle with this tank, and
Okay.
I'm going to go see the movie myself. It's going to be great.
So if you're a history buff, go out there. We're going to have to wait to go out on the lawn a couple of days, see if we can get something set up there on the Union Green.
Yeah, I personally, there's probably a little bit of action in there
Yeah.
considering World War II and all that, so it's going to be a great movie. But let's have a look at Paxton over here. Is going to, not Paxton, Matthew is going to take a look at the National for us.
All right, thank you so much, guys. I'm stepped off screen because take a look at what's going on across the country. There's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows in terms of water vapor. We have all that dry air down here into the southeast, and when we look out to the west, that's where we start to see the issues start to arise out here in California, Oregon, and in Washington. And we're going to be focusing on those areas a little bit more in our national today as well. But let's take a look at that satellite and radar real quick, because as we've been mentioning throughout the show, look at that. The southeast is clear and beautiful, but there's a difference out here in the west. We see quite a bit of storm activity, and we'll be getting into that right now. So let's take a closer look at what's going on here in portions of California. We have the Sierra Nevada mountain range right here. They're starting to get quite a bit of snow up in the higher altitudes. Actually, above 8,000 feet is where you start to see the snow falling in the Sierra Nevada. Even in California, this drought-stricken area, this is a bit bad for them because this is a little too much rain all at once. We're talking about a 10-inch rain event here for the California area. As we move on up a little bit up the coast into northern California, we start to see that rainfall. See these indicated by the red reflectivity here on the radar. That indicates those really heavy rains. We're talking 3.5 to 4.5 inches over a span of just a day, which for an area that's been in a drought is quite a bit of rain, a bit too much rain. So we're talking about a lot of flash flooding as well. As we move on up into Seattle, I like to pick on Seattle a little bit, but today their name or their normal weather pattern is certainly keeping up here in Seattle. The rain is starting to clear out just a little bit now, but earlier during the day we did see quite a bit of rain in Seattle. But let's take a deeper look at those watches and warnings straight from the National Weather Service. Actually, we have it right here in towards the Sierra Nevada here. We're talking high wind warnings up into the mountain ranges, and see these lighter greens here. Those are those flash flood warnings, and then the flash flood watches in the darker green. So one thing that we have to be careful of in the west is those flash flooding events, which is a possibility here because they haven't seen very much rain in a very long time. And then out in Wyoming, we're also seeing quite a bit as well. Wyoming, we're seeing some winter weather advisories, and mostly that wind is definitely an issue once again here, indicated by these light orange and brown colors. The wind is certainly an issue in Wyoming. But taking a look nationally, we're looking pretty well in the rest of the country. Just a bit of a fire weather watch here in Alabama, as Tom was mentioning before, because of the extreme dry air that we were seeing in the southeast. And then in the northeast, just a bit of snowfall, winter weather watches and advisories for them as well, because of that lake effect snow machine that has been turned on in the northeast. But now let's take a look at those current conditions across the country, because we're looking quite mild. Especially look at Phoenix, 83 degrees. We haven't seen that in a while. And then moving on to that 24-hour temperature change, we see those temperatures change as well. And then tonight is looking cool once again. But Tom, you're going to take us through the bring it back home a little bit here.
Yeah, taking it home, we're going to look at the almanac today. This is a record book for us today. So the high today was 61 degrees. We see a 66 is our average, and the record 83. So we're not really breaking any records, but we know we're getting really close to getting the average seasonal back. 34 for the low, a little bit low on the average side for the cool temperatures. But so we're going to be seeing those temperatures go back to more seasonal. Locals 59 degrees right now, Tallahassee, 54 Monticello. Going to be a nice evening, clear, starry skies for us tonight because of that dry air for it. As long as this wind stays out of the north, 5 miles per hour in Thomasville, 6 miles per hour Tallahassee, we're going to see those cooler temperatures kind of stick around. But when we see those winds turn around, we're going to see that warm air come at us from the south. There's clear skies here, not a drop in the sky for today. Some high clouds coming off of the Carolinas for you now, and it's going to be a great weekend for everybody in the south. See these winds right now coming out of the north for us in Tallahassee, and those winds are going to kind of swirl around with that high pressure, maintain a clockwise kind of pattern. And we're going to see, towards the weekend, we're going to see those winds start pushing out of the south and giving us those warm temperatures, maybe into 70 on Sunday for you. The seas looking pretty good for the weekend, so some of those guys like go fishing. Less than 1 foot of waves there. Some light chop on the intercoastal if you like to go fishing in the swampy areas. Sunrise, 7:24 a.m., so if you like to get out early in the morning, it's going to be a little bit later and later as we a little bit earlier and earlier as we push on into the later parts of winter into the spring here. Tonight, starry skies. Do some star watching after you see that movie at the SLC tonight. Fury, 0% chance of rain, calm winds, as we go into the night. 33 degrees for you in Tallahassee, pushing, maybe freezing in some of the outlying parts of town. A little bit warmer by the coast, even pushing into 43 as we get into Apalachicola with all that warm, that water around there for you. But tomorrow, again, 0% chance of rain, beautiful afternoon, pushing into those high 60s. Wind coming from the south-southeast, 5 miles an hour. That's where we're seeing a little bit of that warming coming from, that south wind. And the week ahead, we're going to take a look at 66 degrees for tomorrow, 70 Sunday, Monday, 72 degrees with a 30% chance of rain. Not too big of a threat for rain there. Maybe a few sprinkles, maybe a slight little storm. And then we're going to see those temperatures dip again back into the 30s and into the 60s for the rest of the week. And maybe Friday we're going to see a little bit of more action there on the rain side, Thursday into Friday. 20% chance of rain coming at you. And we're going to see those highs dip back into the 50s by Friday. There's a little variability on that. We're not completely sure because it's really hard to forecast farther and farther out. Do our the best we can. So right now we're going to take it back to the desk with Matthew and Paxton with some fun stories for you.
That's right, Tom. We do have some fun stories, one of which we're recapping Severe Weather Awareness Week here in Florida. And today's theme, actually, we take a look at temperature extremes.
We do, and associated with these temperature extremes are wildfires. And that's something we don't really experience all that much here on the East Coast, especially Florida, but they prevail over in California and the West Coast where it's a lot drier for these wildfires to start.
Wildfires are serious danger in portions of California. Even here in Florida, like you said, we do see them a little bit here, but when we see those really dry conditions and really around the dry season is when we see those crop up.
Yes, and also, since today's the last day of Severe Weather Week, we have various other topics that we're going to get to in a little bit. But right now, I'm just going to talk about the Southeast and our little neck of the woods, as Al Roker would say. But, you know, this 24-hour temperature change, 5-degree difference this time today than yesterday. It's a little bit cooler, not all that much. But in Jacksonville, it's 13 degrees cooler today, this time, than it was yesterday. And we're in the negatives across the whole area in Florida. Usually, Miami's in the positive areas. The past couple of days, they've been plus 1, 2 degrees. Currently, it's 59 in Tallahassee. It has been pretty much sunny all day. A few lingering clouds here and there, but nothing too bad. But around the whole Sunshine State, it is sunny until you get to Central Florida and south into the Miami area, where the front just passed, but there are a few lingering showers and a few lingering clouds in that area. Again, you can see on the water vapor that we do have some dry air in the southern Florida region associated with the front, which you can see with the green area just past Miami into West Palm, and that's where all the moisture and the rain is located, followed by the orange dryness behind the front. And what we've all been talking about earlier today was how it's essentially clear in Florida. There's no rain except for a few lingering offshore showers in the south, but otherwise in the Big Bend region, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Pensacola, it is quite clear. It's quite nice. And when we were looking at the zoomed in images, it looked like it was broken, but it just wasn't. It was just perfect outside. Currently, the winds, you can see that they are the clockwise rotation, which would make sense since we are dominated by an area of high pressure, and that does have the clockwise wind pattern. And to take a little bit better of a look looking at the pattern, you can definitely see the clockwise rotation, the northeasterly winds across all of Florida and the Gulf. And this will be lingering around for the next few days, even into Sunday. So we're not having any new low pressure systems this weekend. So it's going to be beautiful outside, nice time to go have some fun in the sun. You could just have a good old time. But looking at Sunday 8 p.m., we do have this little low pressure system off in the Gulf, and we'll be having a little bit of showers, but nothing impacting our weather anytime soon. For tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be 32 degrees. It's going to be freezing, so make sure you bring your scarves, your jackets, your warm weather apparel. But like what John was saying earlier, is we might not get to these 32-degree temperatures again. So savor it while it lasts. Who knows? And then tomorrow it's going to be a nice, beautiful 66, and we have suns all over the Sunshine State. It's quite beautiful out there. Go outside, enjoy your weekend, have a bunch of fun. But we're just going to hand this on over to John with winter weather, where unfortunately they probably don't have as many suns as we do in Florida.
Yeah, look at those 73s down by Miami and West Palm Beach. That's what basically the entire rest of the country is hoping for. They've got lots of winter weather going on and a lot of rain out west. And we're actually going to focus not on this rain, but on this very snowy weather across the northern tier of the country here, from basically International Falls down into the Buffalo area. And they're expecting more snow across New England this weekend as well. But I want to focus on this little rain band or snow band here, just coming off the east end of Lake Ontario here. This was actually caused quite a bit of havoc just south of Watertown on I-81, just east of the Oswego area. About 35 cars were piled up in this heavy wet snow coming off of Lake Ontario this morning. They're still cleaning that up today and through this afternoon. And this is the first storm that's going to pass through this same corridor across northern New York through the weekend. This is the first of 3 storms. This is a winter storm watch for the possibility of about 6 to 8 inches of snow in that area coming this weekend. And this is the reason why. This is moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Again, this is like a fire hose coming from basically back towards British Columbia, all the way across the northern tier of the country and down into New York State and into those areas of New England. They've already seen 2 to 3 feet of snow recently. You can see a lot of that lake effect snowflakes starting to fall across northern Michigan, across Green Bay, and up towards Lake Huron as well. Traverse City up in here, Montessey up in Green Bay, picking up 2 to 4 inches of snow. Again, this is probably just the first of many things to come here. There's even more snow up into Canada, starting to infiltrate into Winnipeg. Again, not really picking up a whole lot of snow because our U.S. radars don't go quite that far north, but there's a lot of moisture up there to work with, and that's all going to come down towards the south. And this rain here, this is another batch of moisture that's going to move up over the northern tier of the country and head down towards the Great Lakes over the next day or so. And this is how it's going to look here. Watch, here's the moisture source we talked about. There's going to be a ridge of high pressure here across the central part of the country. And this is the train track down into the northern part of the country. Watch all this snow as I put this into play here. Lots of snow coming down. 1, and here's 2, coming down into the northern parts of the Great Lakes. That'll be heading into the northern parts of the country. Here's part number 3. This is a multiple event sequence over the next couple of days. It's going to be a very wet, snowy weekend for most people from basically Chicago and Wausau north in the Midwest, and basically Philadelphia north in the Northeast. And it's going to be cool as well. This is going to be a wet snow event for most people in the Northeast. 18 degrees in Minneapolis, plenty of warmth out west if you're looking for that, down south as well. And then as we head into the highs tomorrow, we're looking almost near 80 in the panhandle of Texas. Cool up towards the north, and that's where we're going to stay. Boston expecting their first dose of snow as we head into tomorrow afternoon. But we're going to talk about more weather now at the weather desk.
Talking about weather, we're going to just recap the rest of Severe Weather Awareness Week, and we're going to talk about hurricanes first.
Yeah, that's right. Hurricanes are something that we in Florida certainly have to deal with every hurricane season. We got to get prepared, get ahead of the storm here, and hurricane season is just a couple months away.
It is. It feels like it just ended, which it did. It ended in November, and it's only February. But again, it will pick itself back up. But luckily for us here in Florida, we haven't experienced any hurricanes in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been certainly a few years since we had our last hurricane here. But one of the things that we want to just mention real quickly is many times we see people duct tape their windows during a storm thinking that would do something, but plywood is the way to go.
Plywood or shutters. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people open their windows too. But don't do that either.
Nope. But for now, I'm going to actually take a look at what's going on here in Tallahassee one last time because I got your Friday afternoon forecast leading on into a great and beautiful weekend here in Tallahassee. So let's look at those current conditions right now on campus because it's a beautiful one out there. 59 degrees. We got really not a cloud in the sky here. And look at that dew point and humidity once again. Very low and very dry conditions out there, but beautiful nonetheless. I thought it was a beautiful day outside, and certainly this weekend it's going to look even more fantastic as well. So let's take a look at the satellite and radar because, well, as we've been saying throughout the show, we want to get you aware that this isn't broken. There's just no clouds out there. It's beautiful weather, great day to head outside. Going to be a little bit cold tonight, so keep those jackets handy because you're certainly going to need it. But if you do want to head out on the boat tomorrow, because it will be a beautiful day for it, winds are just going to be out of the east at 5 to 10 knots, so not too rough, and waves only 1 foot. So it's going to be a really great day out there on the water, a great day to go fishing or just lounging on the boat if you want to take that route. And look at that sunrise and sunset. Those days are starting to get a little bit longer here as we push on into spring. So take a look at that. We are extending our days here in Tallahassee. But here's the future cast, taking a look ahead of the temperature-wise, where we're sitting right now here in Tallahassee. We're at 56 degrees at 7 p.m. tonight. And as we put this on into motion, we start to see those really cold temperatures start to move on in. Look at this, 29 degrees here in Tallahassee. So that's why I say keep those jackets, scarves, boots, every piece of clothing you have handy so you can put that on, because it's going to be another cold night here in Tallahassee. But as we move on into tomorrow, those temperatures rebound very nicely across the entire state. Just a beautiful day to be a Floridian here in the state, because 63 is what we're checking in tomorrow afternoon. So I'm personally going to be heading out on a hike. Be a great day to head out to a park, do some homework outside, or just enjoy the outdoors, because it'll certainly be a beautiful day for that out there. But as we move on into Sunday, 41 degrees, going to be a little bit warmer than what we saw tonight and into tomorrow night, but it will be not in the freezing point, which we're going to be seeing tonight. And then once again, Sunday afternoon, we're going to be rebounding once again very nicely at 69 degrees. So just another beautiful day to head on outside. But as for tonight, though, Friday night, going to get exciting out there. 33 degrees here because it's going to be approaching that freezing point in some portions outside of the city. But here in Tallahassee, we're just going to be hovering right around it. No rain at all, and then if you want to go stargazing, it's going to be a beautiful night for that as well. Then into tomorrow, here's your Saturday planner. If you want to head out to the park and go on a hike, we're starting out rather cold, so 35 degrees, bundle up if you're heading out early, especially if you're heading out early on the boat. But at lunchtime, it's going to be warming rather nicely, and then as we push on into the evening, those temperatures won't drop very quickly at all. And then baseball fan day here in Tallahassee once again on Saturday tomorrow. Meet the players, get a taste of what baseball season has to offer, and let's look at that 7-day, because this first week of February was a beautiful one, absolutely beautiful. We had a couple rainy days, but now we're rebounding nicely to really enjoy these great temperatures indeed. What do you think of that, Paxton?
I'm looking forward to these great temperatures, especially the sun and the warmth, because I say this every single time. I really hate the cold, and I still hate it.
Yeah, well, we're both from the same area, so we're not huge fans of the cold, but this sunny conditions and even the 70s, a quick peek of the 70s, may come back on Sunday.
I don't remember the last time we've seen the 70s. Well, looking at the 7-day, look, Sunday's the next time we might see the 70s.
Look at that. Sunday, the 70s are back, and they're here to stay for a couple days as we hit those rainy conditions on Monday again. But 7 days, just almost 7 suns, except for Monday.
Yeah, and that's when that weak cold front comes through, bringing in some chance for some showers, but otherwise, not too shabby.
No, not at all. But take a look, social media, we're always there. We're on Facebook at FSU Weather, Twitter at FSU Weather, and check us out on live stream at any time at FSU Weather.
I actually watch myself on live stream sometimes.
Well, it's certainly a good way to keep up with your favorite weather people, including yourself. So
Exactly.
have a great weekend, everybody.
I'm student meteorologist Paxton Fell. Good night.